All right, so apologies for that long intro. Oh, God, that seems like it took forever. I had some problems finding one of my documents for tonight's stream. Um, so over the past, couple of streams that we've done for this whole little thing, um, we have been making the D&D version of a couple of Marvel Comics characters. And we're gonna continue with that tonight. Um, we've created Iron Fist in episode 1, Luke Cage in episode 2, and tonight we're gonna make Jessica Jones from the Defenders. So it's gonna be an interesting stream. Um, so you know, hope everybody enjoys it, and if anybody has anything they want to throw out for it, feel free. Um, so we're open to suggestions and whatnot. Um, for this. Sorry, I didn't have my Discord muted, so I just got a notification that was loud in my ears. I don't know if it was loud on your end, but let's go ahead and get started. So, as always, fixed hit points, milestone advancement type, feats using combrents, all of that jazz. So we're gonna go right into race, and he's trying to stay true with D&D and whatnot. Um, I keep forgetting that my camera's not up here or over there anymore. It's right in front of me. It's right here, right here. See, it's right here, right here. I have to remember that. But at the same time, I have to make sure that I'm keeping track of everything around me. But anyway, staying true to D&D, and not wanting to make every character we make a human. I wanted to find something that really stood out. And there's a couple of things that you could go with, but for me, the thing that I went with was the for the her race was the Tiefling, and I didn't pick a specific type of Tiefling, um, mainly because I didn't really go super far into it initially, but then I thought more on it, and so we're gonna go with the variant Tiefling. And so for variant Tiefling, we are going to go with the winged version. Um, and there's not really a rhyme or reason on why I went with that. It seemed like a nice little additive to add on for this character. So +2 to charisma, +1 to intelligence, hellish resistance, infernal legacy, dark vision. So those are our first things that we're rolling with on this build. Um, so let's go on and move on to her class. Um, because of the type of character she is, there's several different things we could go with for it. Um, I decided to focus on the roguish parts of her. So we're going to be going with the rogue for this one. Proficiencies. Um, I went with deception as a primary. I went with intimidation. Um, I would say perception, and you can come back to these later on because I don't remember off the top of my head what background I had has. And there's two different backgrounds that we'll look at that will work for her. And you could go with investigation, but I went with stealth. And then expertise, choose two of your skill proficiencies. I'm going stealth and intimidation for those. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and advance to level 2 here. Oh, we went to level 3. So let's go to level 2. Yep, confirm. We don't want to skip levels because skipping levels really becomes an issue sometimes. So let's go ahead and minimize the expertise. You just gain cunning action, and cunning action allows you to take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. You can take the dash action, the disengage, or the hide action. All three are wonderful. Dash lets you move double your movement speed. Disengage allows you to get away, from your enemies without provoking attacks of opportunities. And hide is obviously a hide thing. So let's go ahead and jump to 3. All right, so this is where we're gonna choose our roguish archetype, and there's a lot of different ones you could go with for this. But for me, Inquisitive made the most sense. Ear for Deceit. When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you develop a talent for picking out lies. It's perfect for a private investigator, obviously. Otherwise it wouldn't be in the, it wouldn't be, titled Inquisitive. You make a Wisdom Insight check to determine whether a creature is lying. Treat a roll of 7 or lower on the d20 as an 8. Eye for Detail. Starting at 3rd level, you can make a bonus action you can use a bonus action to make a Wisdom Perception check to spot a hidden creature, object, or to make an Intelligence Investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. That's very useful. So, Insightful Fighting. Sorry, I got lost in my head for a second. At 3rd level, you can gain the ability to decipher an opponent's tactics and develop a counter to them. The bonus action, you can make a Wisdom Insight check, which is making me wonder if we should go back and change the Insight to Insight as one of the abilities for her. Check against a creature you can see that is incapacitated, contested by the target's Charisma Deception check. Succeed, you can use your sneak attack against that target, even if you don't have advantage on the attack roll, but not if you have disadvantage on it. Benefit lasts for 1 minute or until you successfully use this feature against a different target. Very, very useful. So, what we're going to do is at level 3, we're going to stop for a second. We've chosen a bunch of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're not going to go to abilities yet. We're going to go to description. And there's a couple of different backgrounds we can go with here. And so one of them specifically is going to be the Charlatan Background. Getting skill proficiency and sleight of hand. You always had a way with people, you know what makes them tick. You can tease out their heart's desires after a few minutes of conversations, yada yada yada. And then you can just choose a skill at that point. And then you also have a false identity with that one. The other one that you can go with, and this is because of the type of character that Jessica Jones. She is very much a haunted character. So Haunted One makes sense because of her history with characters like Purple Man. So you can go with this one where you get to choose an actual skill. So there's that investigation. We chose that as one of ours. And then survival is another. You can choose an exotic language. We already know Abyssal. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose Undercommon for that one. And this is a little cool thing here. Well, those who look into your eyes can see that you have faith unimaginable horror, and that you are no stranger to darkness. Though they might fear you, commoners will extend every courtesy, do their utmost to help you. Unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them, they will even take up arms to fight alongside you should you find yourself facing it. That is the most useful one to me because of her ability to get people to take up arms with her. So we're going to go back. We're going to remember investigation and survival there. And we're going to go back to our class and go to our proficiency. So we didn't pick intimidation or we didn't pick investigation or survival. So that's good. We don't got to worry about that. However, like I was saying earlier, with insight being used so much, I'm going to change something here. We're not going to change the intimidation, but we are going to change perception to insight. And then we'll just change... Actually, no. We'll change the deception to insight and change this back to perception. So, there we go. Those are going to be what we're going to have because we're going to use those the most. And then, rather than intimidation getting that bonus, we're going to use... We're going to have insight get that extra kick. Alright, so we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do our ability scores this time around before we continue. So the thing about her is that she's very, very strong, but she's also very durable. Our racial bonuses grant us a +1 to intelligence and +2 to charisma. So we're not gaining any bonuses up in here just yet. So our strength, I'm going to say that our strength needs to be a high number. Our dexterity doesn't necessarily need to be high, but it needs to be at least in the 14s, I would say, because of her speed. So, we're going to go with that. And then Constitution, we're going to throw at 16. Intelligence. Now, here's where it becomes, kind of weird. So her intelligence, she gets a +1 too. But she has only a 2 in her power grid. So we're going to have to put that lower than the dexterity. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that at a... I would say put that at like an 11 and make it a 12. Boom, done. Wisdom, we can use that as a dump stat. Charisma, we have that +2 down here. So we're not going to throw a 16 in there, but we still want it to be kind of decent. So we're going to throw in that well. And those are going to be our stats for her. And remember, we're building her to a... What was it? We built to level 14 for the others. So we're going to build her to level 14 as well, which is going to be the reason why she has these higher abilities than standard rolls. So level 4, ability score improvement. We're not going to go with an ability score improvement. There are feats that are incredible that also give you ability score improvement. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with observant for our first one. If I can find it. There it is. Observant. Increase your intelligence or wisdom by a score of 1. Remember, we weren't putting our intelligence very high, and this is why right here. So we're going to bump that intelligence score up by 1. And then if you see a creature's mouth while it's speaking a language you understand, you can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips. +5 to your passive wisdom and passive intelligence. So that is a good feat to have. Alright, let's go ahead and bump to level 5. We're going to gain Uncanny Dodge. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use a reaction to have the damage. The attack is damaged against you. Very, very straightforward. Expertise. So we get to choose Rogue Expertise again. So this time around, we are going to go with Investigation and Intimidation. And move on to... We gain Evasion there as well. Beginning at 7th level, you can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain area effects, as an Ancient Red Dragon's Fiery Breath or an Ice Storm spell. When you are subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw, take only half damage. Or to take only half damage. You instead take no damage if you succeed on the throw and only half fail. Alright. Go ahead and bump up to another ability score improvement. And we're not doing ability score improvement. I'm gonna go with another feat. And that feat, lucky. You have inexplicable luck that seems to kick in just at the right moment. You have 3 luck points. Whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or saving throw, spend 1 luck point to re-roll an additional d20, or to roll an additional d20. You can choose to spend one of your luck points after you roll the dice, but before the outcome is determined. You can choose which of the d20s is used for the attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Pretty fucking useful. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you. Roll a d20, then choose whether the attack uses the attacker's roll or yours. If more than one creature spends a luck point to influence the outcome of the roll, points cancel each other out. No additional dice are rolled. Regain your expended luck points when you long rest. That's going to be definitely useful as well. Level 9. With Steady Eye, starting at 9th level, have advantage on any wisdom perception check or intelligence investigation check if you move no more than half at the same turn. Very, very straightforward. Very straightforward. So, then, this is where we can start getting into other feats as well. For this one, I was heavily thinking of either athlete or durable. Both of them are very beneficial. I just felt like those two were going to be the most useful for those. Tough is useful, but it's not nearly as useful as the other. I think we're gonna go with athlete for this one, and remembering what our ability scores were here. We're going to go with our strength for this one to boost that one up a little bit. You know what? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, our strength score is the one that we're. You could argue to boost the dexterity there. Um, and I could definitely see the reasons why you would. You can increase your AC a little bit. She's pretty damn strong. By a reliable talent, by 11th level, you have refined your chosen skills until they approach perfection. Whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. Not not super incredibly awesome, but it's pretty useful still. All right, ability score improvement. We're gonna go with feet again, and this is where I started getting into a little bit more creativity. Yeah. I want to go with Keen Mind. And we've used this before. Have a mind that can track time, direction, and detail with uncanny precision. You gain the following benefits: increase your intelligence score by 1 to a minimum of 20. You always know which way is north. You also know the number of hours left before the next sunrise or sunset. You can accurately recall anything you have seen or heard within the past month. Not bad for a private investigator. So let's go to our abilities. So now our intelligence has miscellaneous bonus. That puts it, the base score is 11. We have the miscellaneous bonus of +2, and then the racial bonus of +1, which boosts that to 15. Go ahead and go back to our class. We only have 2 more levels, and then we're going to start fleshing out a custom item for her as well. Unerring Eye. Beginning at 13th level, your senses are almost impossible to foil. As an action, sense the presence of illusions, shape changers not in their original form, and other magic designed to deceive the senses 30 feet of you, provided you aren't blinded or deafened. Sense that an effect is attempting to trick you, but you gain no insight into what is hidden or into. Use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum once, and you regain all expended uses of it when you long rest. Alright, so 14. So we're just going to gain blind sense here, starting at 14th level. If you're able to hear, you're aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet. Basically, a very basic build, and what's going to make that better is the stuff that we add in. Okay. First and foremost, we're going to go back here, roll all the way up. She's 5'7" and 124 pounds. I'm going to add that in. Oh. Inches. 124 pounds. Now. Hair brown, eyes brown. Now we're going to get into equipment. And we're going to go into the equipment. And I always try to choose something that's dexterous. We could definitely go with 2 short swords here, and make her a 2-weapon one. So I went rapier. Rapier instead, and a short bow with a quiver of 20 arrows. Explorer's pack always. Leather armor, 2 daggers. Monster Hunter's pack as well. Go ahead and add that starting equipment. Go into the inventory. Dagger. The leather armor. Here. Oh. So we're gonna go here. Alright, now let's view the sheet real quick and see what else we want to add. Alright. So her AC is only a 13. Not really a huge bad thing, but we're going to want to find an item to boost it up. So we're going to get some cool little armor. Go to equipment, and we're going to go to add item. We're going to get rid of common and go into armor. So there's a couple of different types of armor that we can go with here. I apologize, my chair is very... So we want to go with... where is it? This one. As long as it's going to add our modifier to it. If it doesn't add our modifier to it, then it's useless to us. And we want to look at something else. You start seeing stuff in here, you're like, ooh, what's that? And you forget what you're doing. So let's add the armor of psychic resistance. And the reason we want that for this character is because of Purple Man. We're going to add that. Going to attune to it. So now, take a look. Let's see where we're at. That just bumps us to 14, so we're still not quite done. Let's go ahead and go back in. Back into the builder. Back into our equipment. And we're going to go into add items. And helmets. So there is no helmet that works for this. Unless it's a one item. Nope, there isn't. There is no helmet that I want for this. But we are going to look for a belt. Belt of Dwarven kind is pretty cool. Alright, sorry, people are going up. We can go with Bolt of Hill Giant Strength. well, if we wanted to. But Dwarvenkind is nice to do. So we're going to add that. But we're still not done with her because we want to bump and boost her psychic ability a little bit, like her psychic resistance. So we're gonna look into like actual like rings. So there's a ring of mind shielding as well. You're immune to a magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts. Determine whether you're lying. Use this action. That's really, really good for that. Let's keep that in mind. These are all special items that are going to be helpful in the long run. Then there's Ring of Psychic Resistance. Resistance to psychic damage while wearing this ring, jade ring. Fuck. All right, that should be better. We don't want to go too far into this stuff. Ring of the fun little thing. So we're going to. I think we're definitely going to go with that first ring that we were looking at. To go. Oh, there it is. Mind shielding. Well, let's add that. Well, let's go ahead and go to our inventory. We're going to use Belt of Dwarvenkind. The Ring of Mind Shielding does not have to be attuned. So let's go to one last thing. We're going to look. The necklace is not there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into gloves. So we're going to basically, when we make the Power Man gloves, we're going to create a version of these for her. But they're going to be a little bit different. Instead of boosting her strength and durability, they're only going to boost her strength and her. So we'll build those at a later time. Maybe. Oh, we do have to attune that. So maybe we won't do that because everything we have is right there, I guess. So I didn't realize that we had to attune to that. Oh well. Take a look at that. Oh, it does have the attunement thing by it. So we basically have everything that we need to shield her mind from attacks from ye old purple man. So that's gonna be that basically. Go ahead and take a look. So we could also add like a better armor for her, or a variant armor to boost her armor up to like a, which I may do. I may modify the armor of psychic resistance to have some kind of bonus to it. So, that's going to do it for tonight. Those of you that did pop in for a few seconds, greatly appreciated. Everybody that stuck around, that's also appreciated. So, we will see you all next week, Tuesday, where we will look into our next character. We've got 2 left for these, for this little string, and the next one will be Daredevil. So that's gonna be fun to work out. Everybody have a great one. Stay safe and healthy. See you next time. Peace.